Because you guys are always coming up in my algorithm, like watch this, not, like that's how I knew you guys. And I was like, oh my god, I'm so excited to meet them. They keep popping up in my algorithm. Hi, I'm Dondo, and I'm a health and fitness content creator.
Hi, I'm Shalva. I'm a vlogger and relationships creator.
Hi, I'm Jamie. I make videos about trans stuff and relationship things.
And this is Creator to Creator.
Okay, so what is something that may surprise people about your background?
Okay, so everyone, because like the colour of my skin and stuff, will always assume that I'm Asian and typically Indian, but I'm actually African.
Oh wow!
I don't know what I'm telling you.
I know.
Yeah. I come from a country called Mauritius, which is like a tiny little island just off of Africa.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah, near Madagascar.
Oh, have you been there?
Yes, it's beautiful. We used to go so much. Now I've just been a bit busy, but I'd love to go back again. We're hoping to go for the honeymoon.
Yes.
Oh,
you just tell me
so
about
lovely.
the giant lily pads and the tortoises.
Massive tortoises.
Yeah.
Wow.
You should come.
I'm gonna be there.
What about you?
Oh, me. Well, it's not quite as interesting, but everybody's surprised that my parents are Scottish because I have a very English accent.
Yeah.
And I'm very mad that I don't have the Scottish accent. So like I made a couple of videos with my parents and everyone was like, what?
It's a lie.
Why do you not have the accent? Yeah.
Can you put it on? Like, can you try to do it? No. Oh my gosh, I'm the same. I can't do my mum's accent. She's from Zimbabwe. Well, I'm from Zimbabwe as well, and I could never put on her accent. But one thing that I would say is surprising is that I'm not from America, basically, because whenever I say something, someone's always like, oh, you like American or something? And I've lived in England since I was 5, so I don't know why.
Maybe it's like you have like a little bit of your mum's influence in the accent.
Oh yeah, definitely.
You know, like just a slight twang where,
Yeah, just a little twang. I can't get rid of it no matter how much I try.
Does this mean that you speak like multiple languages?
Yeah, so I speak another language. So I speak Shona. Not very well. Like I always Shona. So I always get made fun of whenever I try to speak it because I sound British when I speak Shona, but then I don't always sound British when I'm speaking English. So
I feel you. I feel your pain.
Yeah, all your aunties in Mauritius make fun of your Creole.
Yeah, they're like, they call us coconuts because we're like brown on the outside but white on the inside. They're like, you spent too long in the UK.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Okay, so, right, when you started YouTube, was there a hole in the market that you wanted to fill, and was there another creator that you were inspired by?
So I wouldn't say when I started making videos I was trying to like fill a hole in the market. Now obviously I see that what I do is pretty unique and there's not many people doing it in the way that I'm doing what I'm doing. But it wasn't something I did consciously, I don't think. I just wanted to make the video.
Is there like someone who inspired you?
Not really, actually. I don't think there was anything. I mean, I think everyone on the platform inspired me. It was a pretty small community when I started YouTube, so I was watching people like the Vlog Brothers, like Hank Green and John Green and like Charlie's So Cool, like, and people like that.
I remember, that was like back in the day.
Back in the day. So maybe, they inspired me, but what I ended up making was so different from them. So it was the inspiration to be on the platform and just make whatever I wanted to.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
How about you?
Well, I think I started off like just being, I want to make videos and stuff, and that was a motivation. But I also wanted to document my transition, like personally. And I do think there was kind of like a UK gap that I wanted to fill because I had been inspired by other trans YouTubers as like people like Skylar Kugel and stuff, but they were all American. And I was like, well, I don't know what to do in England. Somebody help me. And I found it out by myself. And I was like, I'm going to make videos about the process here and then kind of fill that gap. And
so that people like from the UK would know
what to do.
To get
guidance.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Yeah, and how about you?
Oh yeah. When I started, I don't really know if there was like a gap. So we kind of do videos together on Jamie's channel, but afterwards I was just like, yeah, it's great that you're talking about trans advice and stuff, but there's so much more to being just an LGBT plus person. Like that's just one part of our identities. So I wanted to show that you could do more and that there was more to life and you could be happy and successful and you don't need to let certain characteristics that some people might think are really bad hold you back.
Yeah,
so,
for sure.
Yeah, we just sort of did that as like a secondary experimenting place to do like vlogging things. And I guess I kind of have hijacked that channel now.
Completely.
Yeah.
You are the face.
Yeah, it's all right. I loved like seeing other Asian people, or you know, just brown people, on screen. It's not something that I've seen very much. And I loved seeing people like Lily Singh and Liza Koshy. And although they were like very big and comedy creators, I just thought representation was a good thing. So.
Yeah, for sure.
So describe a time when you were faced with prejudice and how you dealt with it.
You want to go?
Oh, you go first.
See, now this makes me feel sad because I feel like there's been quite a lot of times where I've faced prejudice.
Oh, no.
Is that terrible? Okay, so we're getting married in September. It's like a thing that we're planning. It's supposed to be really happy.
It's a thing you're planning.
Oh, happy accident, no.
Just a thing.
Just thing, no. And it's tricky because I always feel, because we have a public presence, people will know that we're LGBT. And I'm always, I don't know, fearful of coming out every time to different suppliers, because you hear these court cases of people like being like, no, I'm not going to bake your cake because you're gay.
Oh, wow.
You know? And I'm scared that someone's going to turn us away, because we've fought so hard for our relationship personally. It annoys me that even at this stage it's still something that we're having to do
constantly. Yeah.
And I kind of received, I don't think we've had people come out and be like, no, you're LGBT, but we were looking for a venue for an Asian inspired thing like a Mauritian culture do that happens the day before the wedding. And I emailed these people and I'm just like, hi, we're doing like an Asian themed party the day before our wedding, blah, blah, blah. Can we use this venue? And they were like, we don't do that kind of thing here. And I was like, but it clearly says that you do weddings and parties.
And anniversary things. And
so it really felt like it was the Asian thing that they didn't like.
They didn't like it.
Yeah, it like affected me more than I thought it would, which is odd because I'm not normally affected by things, but I think it's like it's been such a long time, and I was almost prepared from the LGBT front that I didn't think of the race front.
I wanted to email them. I was going to do like a fake question and be like, hey, would you do this? Like, let's send the same thing, but just without that Asian bit in there, and see what they said.
Because I was like, don't worry about it.
I know, you were like, calm down.
Well, it almost made me like a bit determined to see what it was that they didn't like and be like, look, we're good people. Like, it's fine. It's no difference. It just feels really backwards.
That is so frustrating.
Yeah.
So do you experience any sort of that sort of negativity on your channel, or is it like a positive bubble that you created where you're like, it's all good and you don't really get anything, or just like some negativity slip in?
People always talk about like the algorithm and echo chambers as being a really bad thing, but I kind of feel like that's a bit of a positive because we create these bubbles, don't we?
Because
people
it's a safe
who want to follow us. But what I do find difficult when I will experience that hate, and I'm sure you guys can relate, is like when your stuff is promoted elsewhere. Like if Unilad picks something up, or if YouTube promote it on some wider platform, you get like a huge flurry of other people being like, go back to your own country, or, you know, that sort of thing.
Yeah, I can imagine, because you guys are always coming up in my algorithm, like, watch this, and like that's how I knew you guys. And I was like, oh my god, I'm so excited to meet them. They keep popping up in my algorithm. But yeah,
do you sort of feel similar?
Oh, do you know what? I don't know if my mind's just gone blank and I can't think of anything. But I don't know if I'm just. I'm sort of sometimes an oblivious person. Like someone could be being really mean to me, but I'm just so like, I'm just like, oh, I don't
kill them with kindness.
I don't see if you're trying to be mean, or I'm just like, maybe they just didn't like me. That's okay. Like I'll never really like think too deeply into why something might have happened a certain way, if that makes sense. So I can't really think of an example where
That's great though, isn't it? Like
that's amazing. But also I'm a bit worried. I'm like, am I just not seeing something that's happening? I definitely see it happening to other people, and I will speak on it if I see it happening in a general sense, but I wouldn't say personally. I can't remember a time where I felt personally attacked, basically. So
that's really good, especially with like being online. Like, yeah.
What about you?
Oh, I'm being stared at. I get just a lot of the kind of typical hate stuff that you'd expect as like a trans creator, and I think often events and stuff, they'll think they have like a quota of like diversity, and they'll be like, okay, one trans person, then that's good enough, and then that's it, and they don't want to talk to you or be interested in other perspectives and things. So online is mostly just negative comments, I guess in real life, like
you get more positive comments than
I get more positive comments.
Oh, you're just saying the prejudice online
side,
is just comments. Yeah,
like there's not been like a specific targeting or like anything. I don't think the algorithm's prejudice. Like, so I think online is alright. There's just a few mean people.
Okay, so what does diversity mean to you, and what do you wish people understood about it?
I feel like diversity means like representation, authenticity, that kind of thing. I don't know, I feel like it's more self-explanatory.
That's what I was going to say. Like, diversity is self-explanatory. Like, it means diversity.
Yeah.
Like,
but I do think that it is misunderstood. Like, I wish more people would see that, like, diversity means more than just labels. Like, just boxes and the whole intersectionality. I think you sort of touched upon that when we were just speaking too. Like, there's more than just getting a trans person on a panel or, you know, a brown person. Like, you can be brown and a woman and disabled, and everyone's journeys are so unique and individual. So just because you have heard one perspective and think that you understand it from one point of view doesn't mean you understand the whole thing. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
I think a lot of diversity inclusion efforts, like, it always comes down to this word of like tokenism. And you feel like, they're like, okay, well, let's grab this person from this box, that person from this box. And it's like, well, actually, some people fit 3 or 4 boxes. And like, let's have a mix of people and make things bigger and make it like a bigger deal, the diversity and the inclusion, rather than just saying, okay, so on this panel, we have 1 woman, 1 trans, 1, like,
Yeah, for sure. I'm trying to think of something that I wish people understood about it. I feel like one thing I wish people understood about it is that it's not forced, if that makes sense. So I feel like right now people think that we're talking about diversity a lot and trying to push it. So like, oh, then it's not real.
Warriors.
Yeah, it's not real. It's not authentic because you're just forcing it, and you know you're only there because of diversity. Was like, no, I should be there anyway, but it's just because we're all set up to think that we shouldn't be there. Does that make sense? It's like, I just wish, like, it's gonna feel unnatural in the beginning to have more diversity, because you're gonna have to actually think, okay, there's no trans person here, there's no black person here, we should probably put them in. But eventually it'll be natural where you just be like, this person is a good fit for this, and they happen to be more diverse. So I think I wish people understood that basically I'm just not there just because I'm black. I hate that when people are like, oh, you just got that because you're diverse and not because you're actually good at what you do.
No, I'm amazing.
That's always something I worry about with myself, though. I'm always like, I don't feel good enough, but I feel like they had to meet some kind of diversity quota, so they've chucked me on.
That's why I'm here.
That's like, I'm always very like, I'm here because I'm trans, and that's the only reason that I'm here, and
You're both amazing, don't worry. So, what is your aha moment where you discovered your life purpose, and what is your legacy? Deep.
That is such a deep question. Oh my goodness.
Who's gonna take it?
This is something that needs preparation time. Aha moment.
Life purpose.
Does anybody really find a life purpose?
That's what I was going to say. I feel too young to be like, this is my legacy and this is what I'm going to be doing for the rest of my life.
Is it weird that I feel like I have one for you? Is that terrible?
You have an answer for my life purpose.
Yeah, no, I feel like I remember the moment.
Enlighten me.
But you don't have it.
Tell me.
No, it's when, as part of Jamie's trans journey, there were like a few surgeries involved. And so when you had your top surgery, before you had your top surgery, you were like so dysphoric, grumpy, not happy with yourself. And afterwards, you'd sort of documented it a little bit and were like, oh my gosh, like the biggest change wasn't in your appearance, but it was in your confidence and how happy you were. And that was beautiful to see. But I feel you were like, we had that chat and you were like, I'm gonna put this online because people need to know that this is how it can feel. Did you feel like that was an aha moment for you? My purpose is to help people.
Help people.
No? That sounds really cliche.
Yeah, it feels better coming from you saying it about me rather than being like, my life purpose is to help people.
I'm a superhero.
Yeah.
No?
I thought you were going in a different direction. You were going to be like, your life purpose is to be yourself. That's where I thought you were going with it. Yeah, I see what you mean. So like wanting to continue that sharing the journey. On YouTube, a lot of like trans guys stopped documenting their transitions after about a year on testosterone, and they just disappeared offline. But I really wanted to carry on documenting that and kind of humanize the process, and I feel like that was a purpose for me to stay online, keep creating, and just kind of in life as well.
What about you? Do you feel like you have maybe not a life purpose, but like a purpose that you've built so far?
I guess it's just what I do, like trying to help people be healthier and happier. And I don't know if it was a aha moment more than just like, oh, I guess I'll do this then. But I was meant to go to uni, but before I was gonna go to uni, I was like playing with the idea of taking a gap year, and I was like, maybe I should, but like my parents would not have it. So there's no way of me convincing them. But I ended up not being able to get funding, which is really sad. But at the same time, I'm like, heh.
Life has a funny way of working.
Yeah, so that was a moment where I was like, maybe this is, and it happened 2 times in a row, like 2 years in a row. And I was just like, okay, maybe this is really what I'm meant to be doing. And then after that, just amazing opportunities kept coming. So I was like, okay, I think me doing what I'm doing right now, making these videos, workout videos, dance videos and stuff like that is what I'm meant to be doing for now. But I don't know, it was like forever. It would be fun if it was.
It feels right.
Oh yeah, it definitely
I think that's
feels
a
right.
great aha moment.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, that's cool. And to be like, see, this was right for me.
Yeah, for sure.
My parents always say that, time will tell. Time will tell. I'm like, yeah, it will. You just wait.
So what about you? You answered for me. You got me out.
Do you have one for me?
I have one for you.
I don't feel like
like
I've
I
had
should
an aha
now.
moment. I had an epiphany. Can that count?
Oh yeah.
Like recently. It was because I, alongside being a creator, I'm also a PhD student, so I'm looking into. I'm really stupid, don't worry.
No, you can't say that. You're doing a PhD.
Not stupid at all.
No, it's like looking into the other side of YouTube, so like from the well-being and the relationships point of view. So it's really interesting. I was just like, why is it that people feel so connected to people that they've never met before?
Yeah.
And I was just like, oh my gosh, this is it. For me, like I see vulnerability as a superpower. So like this is why I love YouTube and creation and the internet, because I feel like everyone sharing their story and being vulnerable is so helpful. So my aha maybe is that. I was like, vulnerability is a superpower, and we're just superheroes.
Oh, that's amazing. Yeah.
So yeah, I feel like my vulnerability is my superpower, and being able to share that is like my purpose. That sounds so cheesy.
So talk us through a moment where you felt like what you were doing was impacting other people.
I have a few of these. These are like really happy stories. This makes me very excited. Do you want to go?
No, you go.
You look too happy to answer.
Yeah.
You're just like, I know.
I'll tell you
the
why.
answer.
I'll tell you why. Grandmas.
Grandma's is my thing.
But they're so cute.
What?
I don't know.
It will make sense.
Grandmas and also Asda, which I know are 2 words that maybe
What
don't
is
seem to
going
go
on?
So we don't normally shop at Asda, but whenever we go into Asda, there's like it's a demographic of like women who have kids or grandkids who will always come up, and they will be so adorable. I just remember this one because we were on this TV thing where they explained our journey and like the hardships that we went through in our relationship to gain acceptance. And she was like, oh, I love the ring. And she was like, I'm so happy for you guys. And like she started crying in an aisle where we were just picking up our milk. And I was like, holy wow, what we're doing, like it seems silly to us, like just prancing around in front of a camera, but it genuinely seems to have changed someone in a meaningful way. So
Yeah.
that made my heart just pop. I love grandmas.
Oh, that is so lovely.
Yeah, they're sweet. Especially when they're like bonus points, when they're like, and I have a trans kid or whatever, and I've
Yeah.
learned to be more open, and like,
Oh, that is so lovely.
they're the real heroes.
Oh, is that the same for you then, grandmas? as
Yeah,
well?
mine's so similar. Yeah, I said it on a panel earlier, just like grandmas. Yeah, and then I had to explain it very quickly. You left a bit of a pause. Grandmas.
Just grandmas.
Yeah, it's just that kind of realization that what you're doing is actually changing people's minds and improving lives. So like people have said, oh yeah, like my dad didn't accept me at all, and then he watched a few of your videos and now like he gets it and he accepts me. And the same from just like other people who don't have anything to do with the trans community and are just like, yeah, I was like really horrible to trans people and I really didn't like people like you. But watching your journey and other people has made me go like, oh, I was being a nasty person, and you're just living your lives, and I fully like accept you now. And it's like, oh, it does make a difference to share this stuff.
Oh wow, that is amazing. Yeah, I think it's similar to me, like if I get like a message or a comment and it's like not just like a short one, but it's like a full life story. Like usually someone starts off like, sorry, this is so long, and I'm like, no, I am ready. And I settle in ready to read the whole essay. And it's just so lovely if like someone tells me like what, like I think a lot of people think, you know, just working out and eating healthy, like that's it, that's where it stops. But it's like it can really, I'm going to sound so preachy, but it can really change your life in so many different ways. So just hearing how their lives have changed just because they started looking after themselves and spending time on themselves is just amazing to see. Like, even if it's not completely connected, something like, oh, I started my healthy lifestyle and now like I'm getting really good grades all of a sudden, or my room's clean, and all these things that come with just making that change. And that for me is just like, I'm just like, no, like if someone like gives me credit, like this is not possible if it wasn't for you, I'm like, stop it, oh my goodness. But it's just such a good feeling, and yeah.
It fuels you, right? Like every time things like that happen, or we get like that sort of fan mail that comes into the account, would be like, that is why we do what we do. That's why
they're the kind of things you think about when you think, should I give this up? Or I received a lot of hate this week, like I'm not feeling it. And then you just remember the positive impact it has, and it's like, no, I gotta do this.
Do you know what we should do? Stupid idea. Actually, I think we're gonna do this. We should like print them out or get the letters that people send in and put them like in a jar, and then when you're feeling like really down from like hate comments and stuff,
that would be so
like have like a little self-therapy session.
Are you eating them?
Taking them out of my imaginary jar.
Oh my god, can you forget that idea, and then that's going to be your wedding present? So like, just forget that you gave me the idea, but that is what I'm going to give you guys. It would be lovely. Okay, so what would be your advice to people who are struggling to feel seen?
I guess like just the classic, like you aren't alone. Like no matter how unique you feel in your diversity and how alone, I mean everybody's unique, but however alone you feel, there are always people out there who will understand at least some of your experiences and who will be there for you. And I guess it's just like being patient to find that community.
Yeah, it's a great one.
It doesn't always happen straight away.
Yeah, it's true. Like the importance and value of just like finding your tribe, and it may be that they're not on your doorstep. It may be that it is just online. Like maybe you can't like come out or be your true expressive self or feel proud of where you are because you're like an ethnic minority in a hugely white community, or you're a trans person in a
tiny
very
village.
Conservative part of America. Like who knows? Yeah. But if your tribe is, even if it's not necessarily on that, but just people who you feel you can be yourself around. Like I've seen so many people who, regardless of their ethnicity or protected characteristic, find their tribe in like the Harry Potter fandom. Or like, like obscure things that just make them really happy. A knitting club, somewhere that they can just feel themselves. Like a join one.
So cute.
It seems really fun.
Doesn't it sound fun?
Oh yeah, I knit sometimes.
Really?
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Could you make me a scarf?
I could try.
Oh,
I'd be up for that.
Aww.
But yeah, find your tribe. That'd be my one.
Yeah, for sure. I'd say also, I guess, don't compare yourself to other people as well, because I feel like sometimes you compare like how many people see you. Does that make sense? So like say if you have just one best friend or something like that and they understand you, they get you and everything, that's amazing and you should cherish that. Because I feel like sometimes like even like you feel like you should have like a big group of friends, and the same goes for being creative. Like, oh, I wish I had way more subscribers, but it's like, just don't compare yourself, because that will make you feel like you're not being seen, not enough people get you, and actually just appreciate what you have at that time, even if it's a really small circle, even if it's just one person, even if it's just like your postman, I don't know. You just appreciate that, because I feel like sometimes it is a bit of a perspective thing, and it's like, yeah, there is actually someone right in front of you, you're just not seeing it because you're looking out,
taking it for granted.
Yeah. That was such a good chat. I feel like I learned so much about you guys as well. Yeah.
We'll send you an invite to the wedding.
Oh, thank you. I am so excited.
I've been Jamie.
I'm Shaba.
I'm Scholar, and thank you for watching Creator to Creator.